Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Michael McGrath. I'm the superintendent of Merion Township Police Department, and we all welcome you here for this induction and badge ceremony for 3 new officers joining our department. I'd just go around the room and introduce a few people that have joined us this morning. Over here to my left, to your right, is our Township Manager, Ernie McNeely. Bob's not here this morning then, right? Okay. We also have Board of Commissioners. We have representing the board 3 of our 14 commissioners, Anna Durbin, Scott Zeloff, and George Manos. We have Township Secretary Jody Kelly, and of course we have our Magisterial Justice Henry Shearson, who will be conducting the ceremony very shortly. Up in the front we have our color guard for the police department, and also joining us up front is our command staff, which includes Captains Frank Thomas, Captain Gene Pasternak, Lieutenants Chris Polo, John Tucci, John String, Pete Sharp. And Lieutenant Jim Batinger has a conflict, is at a training session today. He would be joining us otherwise. At this point, I'd like to request that the Township Manager, Mr. McNeely, and our Commissioner and Chair of the Police Committee, Scott Zeloff, join us in the Oval. As they join us, and just entering the room is our Assistant Township Manager, Bob Duncan. I'd like to welcome everyone here again today, especially the family and friends of our new officers. Our new officers seated in the front here are Cassandra McCormick, Ryan McBrien, better, okay, and Brian Inella. Also joining us, of course, you see to my right are a large number of members of the Merion Police Department. Some of these new officers recognize some of the officers over there in suits because they were doing the background investigations. I'm sure some of you family members also had the opportunity to meet some of those detectives as well. It's my honor to preside over the ceremony. We will be inducting Cassandra, Ryan, and Brian as new probationary officers. We'll be presenting them with their new badges, representing the newly attained positions with the Patrol Division in the Police Department. Most of our audience is aware of this, but many of our guests may not be aware of how competitive and selective our process is. So let me give you a brief description of what these new officers have gone through to this point. This process began back in November of 2017 when 281 people sat for the written test. 145 then moved on to the next level, which was an oral board. Of those, 77 applicants successfully completed that phase. Then at the conclusion of that phase, there was a physical agility test given. 54 remained, and they were placed on the certified eligibility list by the Civil Service Commission. These 3 new officers finished in the top first half of the final group of 54. And their hiring places them in the top 9% of all who participated in the process. These officers and their families and friends should be very proud of their accomplishment. So we'll begin today's program by asking Commissioner and Chair of the Police Committee, Commissioner Scott Zeloff, to step forward and make a few comments.
Thank you, Mike, and welcome to members of the Police Department, family members, and to the new candidates for the Lower Merion Police Department, also to my colleagues and members of the Township staff. You are joining a dedicated, well-trained, and hardworking police department here in Lower Merion. And you are going to be serving a community that is very demanding, a community that has high expectations, but a community that is very appreciative of the work and dedication of the Lower Merion Police Department. We make a significant investment in your training and in our police department, and we do so because it's what our community expects. The commissioners are the governing body, and we are very involved in setting the priorities for the township. We also are very involved in some aspects of policing, and in particular, along with my colleague Anna Durbin, who's here today, we're co-chairs of the Ad Hoc Traffic Safety Committee. The commissioners get complaints about traffic speed more than anything else. And so members of our police department do so many things to serve our community. But we recently have had a focus on speed of traffic, about which I'm sure you will become very aware, and we look forward to your participation in addressing that issue in our community. Welcome, and I think you will. I wish you great success as members of this outstanding department. Thank you.
And now our Township Manager, Ernie McNeely, have a few comments.
Thank you, Mike, and I am so very pleased to welcome and congratulate you here this morning. As Superintendent said, you've been through a very extensive vetting process, and now you are joining what I like to describe as one of the best, if not the best, police departments in the state of Pennsylvania. But I also like to remind you that you're not just joining the Lower Merion Police Department, you're also joining the Lower Merion Township family of employees. Over 410 dedicated public servants, and on behalf of that family, I want to welcome you and urge you as you get started in your new duties and as you have time to get to know the other departments of the township and our other employees, because we really are all a team and we work together on so many occasions. You've been through that extensive process to get to this point today because we're asking you to be wise beyond your years. We're asking you to keep us secure and to be problem solvers in our community. And so we're asking a lot of you, but you have a great police department and a great organization behind you to help you do that job. So I'm sure you're up to the task, and once again, welcome to the family of Lower Merion Township employees. Thanks.
Now, before we administer the oath of office for these officers, I ask that Judge Sherson step forward and make a few remarks.
Let me join the township officials who already welcomed you and congratulate you and your families for this great achievement. I've been doing this for more than 30 years, almost 40. First as a prosecutor and then as magisterial judge now for 35 years. As a prosecutor in Montgomery County, I worked with dozens of police departments. Lower Merion was then and is now, in my opinion, the preeminent police department in this county. They set a very high standard, and I am confident that the reason you're sitting here is that you meet that standard in the eyes of people who are much better than I at finding talent to serve in the police department. This badge that you're going to get gives you awesome power in a free society. It's one that is given sparingly and must always be used appropriately. The power to detain your fellow citizens, to search them, in some cases, to arrest them, and even, under extreme circumstances, to use deadly force against them. The exercise of such power carries enormous responsibility, and that's why you've gone through this rigorous qualification process. We have to be sure that people are intellectually, physically, morally, and psychologically fit to serve in this very, very responsible position. You may be one of 400 or more township employees, but your position is very special for obvious reasons. Our criminal justice system is a great institution. I believe in it strongly. And what makes this system work more than anything else, including guns and badges and laws, is the respect that people have for police officers. And the general public has, with some exceptions, but the vast majority of people greatly respect the police. But we can't achieve that public esteem, you and I, they like judges too, in general. But you can't achieve that esteem just by wearing your uniform, or me wearing my uniform. That respect comes from your conscientious attention to duty, your sense of fair play, and your simple courtesy to people that you deal with. A courteous officer or judge is someone who has a calm assurance of their authority. That's what you should have. You're going to be very well trained, and you have to have this calm assurance of authority. Courtesy and professionalism project strength and confidence, and they avoid tough situations many times. They are your greatest weapon, in my opinion. Since we represent the justice system, citizens expect something more of us than they even expect of themselves. It's not enough that we do justice. We must appear to do justice in everything we do, and there's a difference. We have to project this appearance of impartiality and justice, and that really is our great challenge and our great opportunity in what we do. So I congratulate you, I look forward to working with you, and I know that you will serve well. Thank you.
Okay, at this point, it is time for the swearing in. So would the three new officers join us in the Oval? I'm over here with Lieutenant Tucci. Put your hands on the Bible. I'll let the judge take over from here.
All right. State your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
The United States and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
That I will enforce the laws impartially.
That I will enforce the laws impartially.
Without regard to race, creed, or color.
Without regard to race, creed, or color.
That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
That I take this
Obligation freely,
freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
as police officer of the Township of Lower Merion
as police officer in the Township of Lower Merion
and the Borough of Narberth,
and the Borough of Narberth,
acting to the best of my ability.
acting to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Cassandra McCormick. Join us in the front. Cassandra graduated from South Hills School of Business with a degree in business. She is Act 120 certified. That means she's gone through the police academy already, so she'll be beginning the field training program with the police department very shortly. And Cassandra most recently worked with the Lycoming County District Attorney's Office, and Cassandra is a resident of King of Prussia. Cassandra, we're going to be over here. Let's step up here then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here we go. Okay. Next, Ryan McBrien. Ryan graduated from Penn State University with a degree in Information Science and Technology. He most recently was employed with the City of Baltimore in emergency management, and Ryan is a resident of Havertown. All right.
Congratulations.
And lastly, Brian Ainella. Brian graduated from Arcadia University with a degree in mathematics. He was most recently employed as a project manager with SEI in Oaks, and Brian is a resident of King of Prussia. Judge? Well, we want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. This does conclude the badge ceremony.